Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome, how are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Today's video is called 4 Concerns for My Filipina When I Die. Maybe it's just me, but I think talking about death is something that needs to be done simply to be prepared for the inevitable. Now, since I'm 27 years older than my wife, it's impossible to know if we're going to have a long marriage or a short marriage. I do know that she has made me very contented, and I'm very satisfied man after many difficult years of being alone. I can tell you that talking about my passing is not a favorite thing of my wife, and I understand that. I also feel that to some degree I must explain to her that I need to do what I can to prepare her for the inevitable, because I am responsible to take care of her. I am 56, and I've seen celebrities, athletes, local people die by my age. It hits home. I've probably worked with 6 or 7 people that have died. My idea is that by disclosing what I can do to help her in that transition in her life, she can feel better by not having to worry as much about it. And here are several areas I feel compelled to address with her. One of them is remarriage. Having been married to my amazing wife for 3 years, and having been together here in America for over 2 years, I know what my wife brings to the table. I admit to talking a lot about her and thinking a lot about her and praying a lot for her because she is so very special and precious to me. I would take her over winning a $1 billion lottery. I have never felt so relaxed, contented, and stress-free. Yes, in marriage. We have our disagreements and spats, like we all do, but we have been able to avoid dragging them out. I take responsibility for the arguments we've had, as they wouldn't have happened if I had handled things with more maturity. I tell her I am like the CEO of our marriage, and as such I need to think about her present, short-term, and long-term future after me. I don't think Filipinos generally take the time or even feel the need to think ahead and plan for the future because of the nature of where they live. But my wife seems to like that and encourages her sister, who had 2 babies recently, to learn how to save for the future. Say we were married for 20 years. She would be 47, and that's still young. She may age gracefully like many Filipinas. To be honest with you, in the back of my mind, I want other potential husbands, if she chooses to remarry, to be lining up for her after I die. She's an amazing wife. She will still likely want physical intimacy. People already get the idea that she is a special woman. I don't want her to be alone. I want someone else to be able to meet her needs in their own way, as I am trying to do. But that's just me. You know, maybe God has other plans. This may not be an issue anyway, as Filipinos often have no intention of remarrying someone other than their soulmate. They may believe he is the only one God wanted them to have. This is not unusual. I do not agree with this. I have told her I would prefer she remarry, but one night, unprompted, kind of out of nowhere, she just told me that she would not remarry. If that turns out to be the case, that is even more reason to give up my life for her in as many ways as possible, since there may not be another man to do that. Where to live? We got some music playing here, and I guess that's part of the Memorial Day situation, so let me just continue. I don't want to get a strike because of some music. Where to live? After I am gone, she will likely stay in Nebraska or return to the Philippines. After retirement, I would be happy moving to the Philippines, where she would be around family and friends. She is always thinking of others. One of the qualities that makes her so precious to me. I think she can be a big asset to people in the Philippines, where our money would go further. The main thing for me would be getting my meds, and if I needed serious medical help, would I be able to get it there? Another aspect is what to do for a living. Now, recently my wife surprised me by asking me if she could further her education. Her friends have told her that since she's in America, she could do that because having a degree from America is very valuable in the Philippines. That might take a couple years, however. She taught some special needs children before quitting her job in the Philippines to prepare for her journey to America. She has embraced working here in America very well. I think she would still want to help children if we lived in the Philippines, I've often told her that I want her to be doing fulfilling things with her time, and that doesn't stop when I die. She saves money well and is still thinking of helping others. Now, how to manage financially after I'm gone. This is a big one. Part of the visa experience is showing your ability to provide. Part of the visa paperwork was including some proof you can provide for her. To help the visa along, I included a list of my assets just to have a better chance of getting the visa. You don't need to be rich to pass that part, but I have often mentioned to my wife where our savings are and have included her in all our meetings with our financial advisor. I don't want to scare her about death. Rather, I want to help her see that I want to keep taking care of her after I am gone. She needs to know who to contact when I'm gone. I would encourage you to be able to talk to your Filipina about the future. Sometimes she tells me she doesn't want me to talk about it, but I want her to know about life insurance or Social Security, for example. As a side note, I just learned it appears she would have to wait until she is 60 to fully access my full Social Security. When you die, the wife gets very little. I mean, like a couple $100. But when she reaches 60, in our case, since she is a lot younger, then she would be eligible to apply for my full retirement or my full Social Security. So the longer I work, the better that is for her. So that's like 31 years from now. Talk about a long-range plan. But it's something she needs to be aware of, and something I've already talked to my financial advisor about, and my financial advisor said she will take care of Isa. So some of these things are brand new to her. I don't want any surprises, and I want to be prepared. Am I overdoing it? I don't know. I do enjoy being her husband now, but I worry about her emotionally if she is not somewhat prepared for my passing in certain ways. I have shown her how to pay bills, although I have handled the money. I offered that chore or responsibility to her, but she lets me do it. We have a safe deposit box in a nearby bank with our important documents in it. And my last point is make the most of now. These are the halcyon days, the best times for us. We are still learning how to live in harmony. The Bible teaches us to enjoy our lives and all that God has for us. However, in Ecclesiastes, it also says something like the wise man considers death. The wise man considers death. So we can't be afraid to talk about it. We are to plan for it. Maybe it is my way of just getting the obvious out of the way early. We both are concerned about how we would do without each other. My wife says she is very concerned how I would do without her if something happened to her first. I would be crushed. Sure, I would consider her a short-term gift from a loving God, but wow, that hurt. I know she would prefer I remarry, but I don't think that would happen. I told her I am all invested in her, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and I didn't see a space in my heart for another woman. Now that is another thing about me that is different now that I am married to her. My perspective is different. I only want to look at and desire her, not any other women. If I died first, I want her to remarry, but she says that she won't. If that is the case, I can't rely on someone else to provide for her later in life, so that is one reason I think about how my death will affect her life. Obviously, no one knows how the future is going to unfold, but planning ahead for your Filipina's future without you may allow you to focus more energy on the present time. I trust God to meet her needs ultimately, but there are some things that I am responsible to do. You don't have to do it right away, but eventually you'll need to talk about these sorts of things with your love beyond the sea.